First up is a company that's in the news a lot these days, unfortunately for not good reasons, is Chipotle Mexican Grill. You wrote back a little over a year ago, Chipotle just keeps posting stunning growth at both new and existing stores. Even if that growth slows down in the future, we still think the burrito chain is on a roll. As consumers demand higher quality fast food, Chipotle seems ideally poised to satisfy this big shift in dining trends. You also note, pizzeria locale, shop house concepts. They're all over the news for obviously not for their delicious burritos. This definitely feels like a short-term hiccup in obviously an amazing business. And again, we're all fools here, so we know the importance of long-term thinking. What's your opinion of how they're handling this little E. coli? I want to call it little because people are getting sick, but
right.
How do you think they're handling it? What do you focus on?
I mean, I think they're doing a great job. Steve Ells and Monty Moran, I mean, they've been public through media. They've made all kinds of statements. They've also invited in best practice analysts, the government, et cetera, to say, what can we do better? They've essentially adopted all of those suggestions. The stock is down about 35% or so just in the last few months. I mean, this is a stock that was over 750 in October, and today it's just right around 500, just a little bit below 500. That's a remarkable drop,
right.
Third in value for something that really is just a relatively, I don't want to, as you were saying, Sean, it's a serious problem, and they're taking it much more seriously than I'm about to. But I think this is going to be kind of like the Tylenol scare, which really depressed Johnson & Johnson for a little while, and then, of course, we all look back and we forget, or BP oil.
Right.
People said, I'll never go to BP again, but then I think a lot of us are going back to BP to fill our cars. So I think it's one of those situations. So I really obviously like the stock a great deal. In fact, it's in for the running. That we're down to 2 stocks in Supernova for the so-called top stock of 2016. That's a annual thing we do in Motley Fool Supernova through our Explorer mission. And last year, the top stock was Amazon.com, which was a pretty awesome year for Amazon.
Why didn't I listen?
It was up about 120%, which was truly a remarkable year, and we're not nearly that good. But for Chipotle to be down with Under Armour, which I think we might talk about as well today, to be the finalists for this contest for Stock of the Year for Supernova 2016 says a lot about what we think about Chipotle.
I happen to, feel free to chime in here, Vince, but I actually loved it when I heard that they're going to close all their locations for a day for a company-wide meeting. I loved that. That's awesome.
It's remarkable. I mean, it's one of those things that you don't expect companies to do, and especially when it's that large. We did talk about, you mentioned, we talked about Shop House and Pizzeria Locale. I mean, it's a company that has a number of additional brands beyond just Chipotle, but even though Chipotle's been in the news for all the wrong reasons for the last couple months, the truth is that there were a ton of happy burrito-eating customers yesterday and the day before, far more than people who are troubled or staying away from Chipotle. So, I mean, I think that it remains a really great company, and in some ways, I think it's an even better company based on the problems that they've had and the reaction that they're having to those problems. So I obviously admire Chipotle. It sounds like I'm not the only one. It's just a stock. So if we get it wrong, or if we say it's the top stock for 2016, it has a so-so year, I'll still like it for the next 3+ years.
Right.
I'll echo David's sentiment there. Overall, there's a Chipotle right in my neighborhood, and every day I get off the metro, and I see it right around dinner time.
And I buy a burrito. No, I'm just kidding.
I see it around dinner time, and before the line, every night would be to the door or out the door, and now there's maybe 2-3 people. So there is undoubtedly, that slowdown. They talk about how comps fell for during the holiday season, like 15%
dramatically,
almost.
Stunning.
And overall, though, love it or hate it, I feel like the public and a lot of consumers in general have short memories. And this time next year, with how well the companies address these issues, how open they've been about communicating, working with, the government's like safety organizations, and just making sure that they're implementing these best practices.
It definitely seems like the company's heart is definitely in the right place.
Exactly.
That's really long term.
Exactly.
What, you need to be concerned about with conscious capital and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So